The story of God's covenant with Abraham and Sarah is our scripture reading today. The Old Testament is filled with acts of covenant or promise between God and people of faith. It might be easy to get caught up in the miraculous aspect of this story, that Abraham at 99 and Sarah at 89 would have a baby, and see this as yet another extraordinary act of God. In actual facts, however, we have none. There is not even any certainty that Abraham and Sarah were actual people of history. This story, written looking back many generations, is yet another example of a human attempt to capture the power of the Spirit of God in life in this world. This particular story of covenant or promise demonstrates how living a God-filled life transforms ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. The writer of Genesis recognizes it is the quality of life lived in God that brings honor to Abraham and Sarah. In the story, Yahweh bestows honor on this couple by changing their names, by calling them differently. Abraham, which in Hebrew means honored father, becomes Abraham, which in Hebrew means father of nations. Sarai, which in Hebrew means princess, becomes Sarah, which in Hebrew means noble princess. Abraham becomes more than a good father, as he is now to be known as the father of many nations. Sarai becomes more than a princess, as she is now to be known as a noble woman. This story, metaphorically, celebrates the realization that the Spirit of God, the God presence, is always with us and within us. Abraham and Sarah is a story of living fully in life's journey, knowing that they were never alone, that the God Spirit was with them. This is the promise to Abraham and Sarah that would, once again, transform the people's understanding of the very nature of God. Now I'll read Genesis chapter 17, verses 1 to 7 and verses 15 and 16. When Abram was 99 years old, God appeared to Abram and said to him, "I am El Shaddai, walk before me and be blameless, and I will make my covenant between me and you, and will make you exceedingly numerous." Then Abram fell on his face, and God said to him, "As for me, this is my covenant with you. You shall be ancestor of a multitude of nations. No longer shall your name be Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you the ancestor of a multitude of nations. I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings shall come from you. I will establish my covenant between me and you and your offspring after you throughout their generations, for an everlasting covenant to be God to you and to your offspring after you." God said to Abraham, "As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. I will bless her, and moreover, I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she will give rise to nations. Kings of peoples shall come from her." Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church.
Thanks be to God.